Welcome to the Appalachian Liturgy Top 5. I'm Justin Stacy.
I'm Brooke Ashley.
And I'm Justin Bowling.
And today, welcome back, Justin Bowling, from vacation.
Thank you. Good to see you all again.
Did you have a good time?
We did. We had a lot of fun. It was really hot, but most importantly, the kids had a really good time. So it was
very good. Cool. So, okay, to our top 5.
Appalachian Liturgy Top 5 Debate.
All right. Okay, so today we are going to go through our top 5 4th of July movies. And I wasn't very specific on how we should interpret that. So
I know this was really hard.
It was
I
hard.
Went back and looked at your wording so that I was prepared to defend some of my choices so that I could get the exact.
Yeah. And I left it kind of loose because I knew this was going to be hard for us to come up with 5 movies that relate to the 4th of July. I mean, there's probably more that you can relate to just the founding and the Declaration of Independence type thing. But just 4th of July in general, like the celebrations and whatnot, that's hard. And that's what I targeted. Yeah, that's what I tried to do.
There's all kinds of like patriotic movies.
Yeah.
Such. But I don't know. There was great debate in my family. And like searching. Now, didn't that film have wait a minute, that one. No, that was a New Year's Eve celebration and not a 4th of July celebration. I mean, we've got some heated words.
Yeah.
And lots of YouTube searching for clips and stuff.
But yeah, with 4th of July coming up, we thought it would be a great top 5 to do. And also, I found something that takes me back to childhood. Every summer around 4th of July, I would usually get some of these. This is a bomb pop, the red, white, and blue bomb pops. So I'm going to eat a bomb pop while you all go through your list.
Okay, so we're going
executive decision to make yourself last. I like
yes.
All right, Bowling, you got to go first.
Oh Lord. Okay.
You've been on vacation.
Do what?
You've been on vacation, so
yeah, that's fair. All right. So when you came up with the topic, I had not an easy time, but I came up with 4 that I was pretty happy with, and I really struggled with the 5th. And I have one. What do we call it? Thank you, man. I've been gone so long, I forgot.
Use your words.
Yeah. But I'll start with 5. I went with Glory. Now, there's not even like a mention of Independence Day really anywhere in there, but I thought this is a good movie that reminds us that like the 4th of July wasn't, the end of American independence and in anything about the ideals of the Declaration. Like Glory in particular talks, I mean, obviously right after the 4th of July, we had a whole war that was kind of important that came after that. So like the signing of the Declaration didn't end it all. But Glory is a reminder that even into the country's history, we're still trying to, fight for everybody receiving their God-given rights from their creator, that all men are created equal, is not fully realized for, even we could say it's not fully realized for a long time. It's a constant struggle that we're always trying to realize the ideals of our founding, even after our founding. So I thought fitting Glory therein, instead of me trying to pick out some movie that had one mention of the 4th of July, like, an hour and a half into it or something like that. And that's all it talked about was a better fit than something like that.
I mean, that's one way to interpret that.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like a lot of excuses for not having a movie.
I was going to say, if you want to argue against Glory, you're just an awful person. So you can do what you want.
It's a great movie. It's a great movie.
How can you argue against everything that he also? I feel like he gave us the name of the movie, and then before we could even fight about it, he was like, so here are all the reasons that I chose it, and if you disagree with me, then you're just a rotten human being.
That was my exact plan. I'm glad you figured out my scheme. Number 4, though, I went with The Patriot. So like it's that war that was fought after the signing of the Declaration. It is complete historical garbage, but it's such a fun movie to watch. So a kind of a funny story on that one. We've been to Charleston a couple times when we've traveled in the past, and one of the times we went there, we took a tour of the town, and the tour guide was telling us that apparently a lot of The Patriot was filmed outside of Charleston, but they were not a fan. They hated every aspect of this movie, and they were telling us every historical inaccuracy that was involved, and they were very clearly anti the Patriot, and I guess I can see that if you really only want to watch historically accurate movies, but you know what, it's a fun movie, even though it's not a history book. Number 3, and I'm gonna go ahead and defend this one as soon as I say it, so you don't get a chance to object. I went with Hamilton. This is long enough.
I totally saw that one.
Well, the reason I thought it might need defending isn't because it's like has nothing to do with the Declaration. It obviously has a ton to do with it. It's got super earworm music in it. You can't get it out of your head. And like since I came up with my list, I've been singing Lafayette all day. And
yeah.
But I thought it might need defending because it's not a movie, quote unquote. But it's got the length of a movie. It's on Disney Plus. Whatever. It's a movie to me.
I can't learn as a movie. I can pause it, fast forward, rewind. I mean, it's a movie.
Here's a fun fact. I've never seen it.
That's not fun. That's offensive.
Dude,
offensive
you have to
not fun
it.
fact.
It is great.
Yeah.
You really do need to.
I really need to.
My Hamilton story, Aaron and I were going to sit down and watch it because it was all the rage, right? Like everybody was talking about it. And the first 5 to 10 minutes, we were like, really? Like, this is what everybody's been talking about? Like, what the heck? And then by like halfway in it, we're like, this is great. And then by the end, we're like, did it have to end? So it was so good.
It really is. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And the music itself is good enough to kind of like listen to just, on its own. Number 2, though. I'm going to steal the Declaration of Independence. National Treasure.
National Treasure.
Yeah. I almost put it on my list.
Well, I did. And
what was number 3? Oh, wait a minute.
Hamilton was my number 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
National Treasure, number 2, is my number 2, though. It's a movie that I just have to watch anytime I catch it on TV. It's completely stupid, but it's great. I love it.
It tickles that conspiracy theory.
Yeah. And number 1, I mean, probably comes as no surprise, is Independence Day. Because, it's also a fun movie. The speech of, I don't remember the actor that does the president, but his speech at the end.
It's iconic.
Gets me ready to fight aliens. I'm just want to look for some aliens so I can fight.
That's right.
And
you said an honorable mention.
I did. That's what I was going to bring back to that. Is I couldn't include this one because it really isn't a movie. I really would have been stretching it. But the John Adams series on HBO, the David McCullough series, is amazing. It's a great it really is historically accurate type thing, but it's like a docudrama, I guess is what you could call it, type thing. It has Paul Giamatti is his name, as playing John Adams. If you have not seen that, it's a short 1 season thing. It's great.
I would piggyback off of that. Washington Spies is amazing too.
I have not seen that though.
Oh, it's great.
But that's my list.
Okay, so my list has really almost nothing in common with yours, Bowling, which is really weird because
that's surprising. I thought we were going to have 100% match.
We have a few things, but I went with more, maybe not the 4th of July was the theme, but what great movies had 4th of July scenes in them.
So literally the exact opposite of what I did. That is great.
That's kind of the route I went to.
But we have some things overlapping. So my number 5 was Hidden Figures. Not seen Hidden Figures?
I don't think I've heard of Hidden Figures, much less seen.
It's about the group of Black women that worked for NASA and did all the computations. Oh my gosh.
I might have to put that on my list.
When did it come out? How old is it?
A few years ago. It's so good. But there's a pivotal scene in the movie, so I won't give it away since y'all have not seen it. But it revolves around a big 4th of July picnic celebration. So anyway, that was on there. I cannot believe y'all have not seen him.
Yeah, I have not. I'm
going to watch it.
I don't watch hardly anything, unfortunately. So.
Yeah, it's really good. Number 4 was Independence Day. Love it. When I worked at the Boys and Girls Club one summer, I think we watched that movie almost every day. It was the first summer it came out on DVD. And so great movie. So no argument there. Number 3 is Pearl Harbor. It has a great 4th of July scene in the movie Pearl Harbor. Number 2, Forrest Gump. Y'all are looking at me like I'm crazy.
I thought about Forrest Gump. If I was going to put in a 4th of July scene movie, that was it. It was going to be that or The Sandlot for me.
Yeah.
The thing is, I didn't remember what the Forrest Gump scene was. When I was Googling today to try to jog my memory of what has 4th of July scenes, Forrest Gump come up on those lists. I can't remember it. So
at the end of the movie, when at the very end, and they're sitting watching, it's when she comes back and they're sitting on a bench watching the fireworks. No clue. Maybe my new computer just did something. I don't know.
I heard that. I didn't know what was happening.
It was an agreement with Forrest Gump. My number 1 4th of July movie is The Sandlot.
There it is. Yep. Good movie.
There it is.
So then I had 2 honorable mentions. One was Hamilton and one was Captain America. So when
Captain America is definitely on my honorable mentions as well.
So you see, Bowling, I went totally opposite of you. Like I thought
I said I'm not doing what Brooke's list is.
I thought about doing like all the movies that kind of revolve around independence and just kind of that patriotic kind of stuff. And I went back and read what Stacy had written, and I was like, no, I don't know. So anyway, so that was my list.
Brooke, I think you had more in the same vein of what I was going for. So
what we're saying is Bowling just
I am right.
overthought the whole thing.
Yeah, Bowling, you were wrong on this.
I would never do that. No.
Okay. So my number 5 is not controversial at all. It is Sandlot. So my number 5 is your number 1. And that's a great movie. And I think the 4th of July scene was that's when they played a night game or something because of the fireworks. There was this, yeah. So
well, and it sets up the most epic scene of that whole movie. It's when the home run gets hit into the yard, and it starts the whole saga with the dog,
with the beast.
Yeah,
that's
such a great. I need to watch that movie again. It's been a very long time since I watched it, but that's a good movie.
I need to watch it some more.
Yeah,
how can you watch it more?
Okay, my number 4. I don't recall if there is actually a scene that has 4th of July in it, but it debuted 4th of July weekend in 1992, and that is A League of Their Own.
See, I tried to think about it, because I wanted it on my list so badly.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there is a 4th of July scene in there. I'm gonna have to go back and watch it.
I mean, there may be, like, it was showing up on some of the lists that, when I was Googling. So I was like, maybe there is, but it did debut on 4th of July weekend in 1992. So I was like, you know what? That's good enough. That's good enough for me. It's on my list. And I love it. It's a great movie.
So I'm gonna call double standard here on that. You're throwing my list out, and yours is it was in theaters on July the 5th, so that's close enough.
And I know this because I had to Google the topic.
I could not remember, other than two of the movies I had in mind immediately when I said 4th of July. Outside of that, I just could not remember 4th of July scenes. I remember fireworks. I remember carnivals. But I don't know if it was specifically 4th of July or not. So I digress. But
I just thought of a movie that has a great 4th of July scene in it.
What's
The Karate Kid.
Really?
Yes.
I can't remember that either. I mean, I've seen The Karate Kid, but I don't remember.
One of the dates happens on 4th of July.
Okay.
Cool. All right. My number 3 is Jaws.
I thought about Jaws too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I thought about that one too.
Yep. The mayor not wanting to close the 4th of July festival festivities on the beach. So that was a big plot point in Jaws. So my number 2 is, of course, Independence Day. It has to be on any 4th of July list.
Yep.
Great movie for all the reasons we stated. My number 1 is Back to the Future. Okay. And as far as I can remember, there is no 4th of July scenes in Back to the Future. But
that's a good point. I didn't think about that.
So
Hold on.
defend this.
Hold on. I'm going to defend it. I'm going to defend it.
You're doing a swell job so far.
Hold on. Just wait a minute. At the beginning of the movie, when Doc is in the DeLorean and he's showing Marty how everything works, he's typing in the dates. He types in July 4th, 1776.
Okay, so that's
There
like
you
my
go.
family arguing that Rocky is a Christmas movie.
I mean, there's Christmas scenes in it, right?
No, at the very end, there's a Christmas like something,
It's a Christmas
like
movie
Merry
then.
Christmas, Adrian, or something.
It's a Christmas movie then. I completely agree with him.
Or the Terminator
It's
being a Christmas movie.
it's a Christmas movie if it needs to be on a list that I made up.
So
Consistent
you think,
set of rules you got here.
yeah, I think you cheated, Stacey.
See, I knew there would be a controversy with my list, and I mean,
Because two of the movies don't even have scenes from the 4th of July. One typed in the date at the beginning, and the other premiered on July 4th, 1992. Were you even born in 1992?
Yes, I was
Oh.
6. I was 6 years old. So,
Well, I don't think those
Fondly
two
remember
cannot
going
be
to
on
the
our
theaters
top
to
five.
see A League of Our Own.
I love it.
I mean, I love
I love A League of Our Own. Yeah.
it sure don't
and
sound
I
like you. Either one of you like it. It sure don't sound like it.
I don't like it as a 4th of July movie.
Well, maybe you should.
Unless
Next time you
somebody
watch,
there can-
have that in mind.
So what's your ranking criteria here though too? Did you just like put your favorite movies by 1 to 5 and then like it doesn't matter how much it actually references 4th of
Basically.
July? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well, fair.
Like I said, it was a loose interpretation, a very loose interpretation.
You're the one that made the rule.
Well,
It's a loose
I made
interpretation of his own rules.
that's right.
More like guidelines.
More like guidelines. Yeah,
Okay,
I should have
y'all.
put pirates
Okay,
on
so
mine. Yeah.
that's right.
our listeners need to help us here.
Hmm.
Do we disqualify Stacy's 2 movies, or do we let them stand?
Well, I'm sure they're not making the final list, so it really doesn't matter. It's going to be disqualified anyway, right?
Yeah, they're definitely disqualified for the final list. But I mean,
Yeah.
Are you disqualified from even having a complete list? I think is the question to the listeners.
I would beg for them to not be disqualified, but if you want to disqualify them, then hey, I'll sulk about it for a while.
All right. So how are
So we
we
gotta
going to do
put
our
them
top
together.
5?
Okay, yeah. So
So Independence Day is definitely on the list. That was on
Independence
Yeah.
Day is definitely there, and League of Their Own.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's definitely the one we were running at, for sure. But we do run
Okay.
into some issues after that. Sandlot was on both of y'all's lists, and it was one that it was close to my honorable mentions. Would have been on my list if I had decided to go a different direction. So I think we can absolutely put Sandlot.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just got that epic July 4th scene.
Yeah.
Okay, Independence Day, Sandlot. What else?
Hamilton was my honorable mention.
That's true.
So, but Stacy hasn't seen Hamilton, which is really a tragedy.
It
Yeah,
really
but
is.
he doesn't have a list, so this is really just between me and you. I mean,
Wow! You disqualified my entire list. What?
you have to have a full list to compete. Sorry, that's the rules I just made up.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
you
fun
got
to pretend.
Independence Day on there.
No, honestly, I did like Jaws from yours too. That was the one I think has a good argument of being on
Yeah.
Okay,
I hate that movie, but
wow, it's great.
there. It's a good movie.
you really don't want to know why I hate it.
No, I really do. You've intrigued.
I don't know if I can say it because I don't know if it'll get us beeped. The whole movie just feels like a male pissing contest.
I mean,
you're not
made
wrong.
in what, the 70s. It's yeah.
I mean, honestly.
It kind of is. Yeah. Now that you said it kind of is. We're gonna need a bigger boat. That's probably a euphemism.
Yeah, right. I mean, just the whole thing. You know, the whole thing.
Yeah, it's fun though. It's funny that there, since Jaws, really, there's such a kind of of a fear of sharks, but I read a recent study that sharks kill very few people every year. Like snails kill more people than sharks. So,
I just think it's the fear of swimming and being dragged under.
yeah. Well, they look. It's just their look. They look dangerous and scary, and and they would be, if you get in their way, but not many people do. So, but yeah,
We
Jaws.
digress.
Jaws is a good one.
But now for the fifth.
Do we have that was just 3, right?
It's 4, I think. Independence Day, Sandlot, Hamilton, and Jaws. Unless you were saying no to Hamilton.
Oh, I mean,
I
I didn't say no. Why don't we do Glory?
I think Glory's a good movie.
And it's a great movie. Yeah. I
Yeah.
think that the connection's tenuous, which is why I had it down at 5, but that's fine. I think it's a
really good movie. Okay, so we've got Independence Day, Jaws, Sandlot, Glory, and Hamilton. Right?
really surprised neither one of y'all had National Treasure. I thought that was going to be for sure one that was on everybody's list.
I debated. I like National Treasure.
Too. I like it too. I debated. I
I
really don't know why.
With how did it? I mean, I don't know.
I think ultimately the 5 that I chose, I just like more than National Treasure. So even though they didn't have the strong connection, I just like them more. We're lucky that a Rocky movie didn't make it on here too.
Oh no!
I mean, Apollo did wear red, white, and blue trunks. He was a very Americana. Right?
So, are you going to make the argument that one of the Terminators should somehow make it on here too?
You could. Judgment Day.
Skynet's Independence Day. Yes,
that's right. Judgment Day is probably the only good Terminator that should make any list.
Well, there is that.
All right.
I know. I feel like we're missing something obvious, but
we probably are.
So here is a movie that was on my original list until I redid it, and it was My Girl. And apparently there is the carnival scene where she gets the goldfish. Apparently that was on the 4th of July, and I hadn't remembered that. I've just seen it on YouTube.
So wait a minute. You had an original list, and then you replaced your original list with the list that you just gave us that had 2 movies that weren't even about the 4th of July?
Yeah. I took My Girl off that had it and replaced it with A League of Their Own.
So you remember when you're in school and they give you advice to not erase your answers and put in new ones? I think we proved that.
Yeah.
First instinct.
Oh well. Oh, this was a lot of fun. Well, everyone, I hope you have a great Independence Day, 4th of July celebration. Hope you can celebrate with your family. And peace. Have a good night. Thank you so much for tuning in. We really hope you got some enjoyment out of the podcast this week. Remember to check out our website, www.appalachianliturgy.com, and follow us on all of our social medias. If you want an easy way to support us, though, make sure to subscribe to our channels and like our videos on YouTube. Also, join our email list for updates and let us know how we're doing. See you next week, everyone. Appalachian Liturgy Podcast is a JRS Studios production.